Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Wednesday evening, we're halfway through the week. The world is a happy place so far, so all is well. And this evening we are talking about resetting or catching up or just basically sorting yourself out. Because what I have noticed just recently is that my good intentions, which were fabulous, and I had done everything, and I was sorted, I was prepped, and I was ready for if I was ill, I wouldn't have to go to the shops, etc., etc. That does not take long to suddenly not be the case. Excuse me. As you can hear, as someone's commented, I'm a bit choked up. Patrick is way worse than me, and he was like that in the caravan. So when we went away, I took my cold and flu capsules that I had, and we bought another packet when we were there, and then I started getting it, so that's my spares gone. I'm now on my last packet of cold and flu remedies. Now, I had a stash, but two of us needing them just wiped me out within a week. So at the weekend, I need to sort that out. Also, for the wood burner, I had a whole wood pile. I even had half a shed. um, that doesn't last that long. The last couple of nights I've put the wood burner on when I've come in just to take the chill off the house because there's pretty much no other heating. So it makes sense, come in, heat the house up, just let it burn maybe a couple of loads of wood. That burns pretty quickly. So today you can probably see all these bits on my cardigan. I went to the wood pile at work because at work, thankfully, they cut wood and they use it for when they're fishing, if they have a fire pit or if they're at barbecues or stuff. And I'm allowed to, it's also for Karen's wood burner. So I went and lifted a whole load of wood today. And that whole load of wood possibly might last me a week if I'm lucky. So I was lucky over the winter in that I'd got a whole lot of wood cut and the whole wood pile was full. It's not now. I need to fill it back up. And I need to fill it back up pretty quickly, because I'd much rather have that done now in the warm weather at the beginning than suddenly, ignore it for now thinking, oh, I'll do it later. And then all of a sudden autumn appears and it's a cold night when you come in from work and you've not got enough to keep you going for the week. Because for me, everything's done per week because I'm working and I'm off at the weekends. So I have to make sure I've got enough to go through the week. It's like when I go shopping on a Sunday to Lidl's, if they've got reduced loaves, I will buy 3 of them because I go through roughly a loaf a week. So I want to always have one in the freezer just in case, because if Patrick comes or Kathleen comes or I make sandwiches for people at work, then I don't have any bread left, and that's not good enough. So whilst I was thinking of that, and I'm like, okay, so that's the things you've thought of in the last half hour, to be realistic about it. What else is there? What else has happened? Because there was a time where I was like, I've got everything, I'm so pleased with myself, this is fabulous. And then you start using things. I remember I had so much sugar for a while, and then I used it, obviously, and found myself down to like my last couple of bags of sugar, and I was like, oh no, need to, so I have more sugar now. But I think as well for getting prepared for things, because there's so much on the horizon that we're not quite sure of. And for me, that's not actually the biggest thing. The biggest thing is I end up injuring myself. If I catch flu, I am useless. I'm in my bed. And because I'm so far away from shops, then it's just such a difference making sure that I've got things here that I can eat. I've got plenty of tea. I've got milk for my tea. That I've got that here, that I'm not panicking thinking, I can't go to work today. I can't drive because I'm not well and I've got no milk for my tea. So I like to have that basis, and it's things like, my jam. I have my jam on my toast in the morning. It's my homemade jam that I made last year. Soon as that Soft Fruit Farm starts selling, I'm going to be asking them for jam berries so that I can replenish my stocks, because we eat quite a lot of jam. And the guys at work eat it as well, so I took like 6 jars in there, so they're just gone. But I think it's important every so often to stop, take stock of what you've got. Again, just simple things can go so fast. That's me out of antihistamines. Why? Because I did have 2 packs, and last week somebody ate nuts in the office, and we found out that what Mandy was a bit uncomfortable with, we think has turned into an allergy. So I came home at lunchtime and gave Mandy one of my spare packets, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I've still got a spare packet there for Kathleen when her hay fever kicks in. And yesterday, Kathleen phoned on her way in to work and went, please tell me you've got antihistamines. I've blown my packet already because everyone in Perth seems to be cutting their grass. I did, so she's taken that packet, so now I have none. And it can be something as simple as that in 2 days, your last 2 packets are gone. And I have to say, Kathleen's hay fever didn't start till she was probably about 14, 15. And the only reason we found out about it is because I decided that she could cut the grass. We had a little fly mow and my wee postage stamp garden. I was like, go and get the grass cut. And she was humping and hawing. I was like, go and get your grass cut. I had come in from work. She was in from school. It was like, go cut the grass, I'll do the dinner. And I heard, Hedgie. Well, okay, it's grass, so that's normal. Hedgie. Still grass. Hedgie, Hedgie, Hedgie. And I was like, oh my God, she's obviously got hay fever. And I mean, I could see it she must have been out there 10 minutes if she was lucky. Her eyes were starting to swell. She was sneezing like goodness knows what. So I was like, right, stop, come in. And I got her right inside the kitchen door and told her to strip completely and then run upstairs and get in the shower. And you'll need to wash your hair, your eyebrows, your eyelashes. You've got grass pollen and you obviously now have hay fever. So yeah, that's how quickly we found out, because she got sent to cut the grass. Don't get me wrong, she was quite happy that she never got asked to cut the grass again. But it means that we need to have antihistamine at all times. So this weekend I will be going and buying more. So yeah, that's my thing for today, is that, I thought I was doing pretty well. And I am still doing okay. But I need to go and declutter, move things about and take stock, because things are getting used. Things that are maybe like, I know if you saw the video about my cupboards, there was only 3 tins of sweet corn. Well, I'm now down another tin of sweet corn and another tin of tuna because I had them for sandwiches. So I've only got 2 tins of sweet corn in the cupboard. We need more sweet corn. And you will be pleased to know, I'm sure, that I got some more chocolate biscuits today. So Patrick's biscuit tin is now getting filled up again, which means I can steal more. What can I say? Has to be done. So yes. So if, like me, you are relatively new to this prepping lark and frugal living and trying to sort things out, I think now, before we get to the hot weather, is a good time to take stock, declutter, and find out what you need. And especially if it's anything for the hot weather, like your antihistamines, get it now, because that's what I intend doing. So I shall go now. I'm going to go and get my dinner, and I will catch you later.